Life often moves faster than our understanding of it. We walk through moments, encounters, and challenges unaware that divine forces are already shaping our destiny. Among the most beautiful mysteries is how God connects us with our soulmate, often without us realizing it. Spiritual masters like Shi Heng Yi teach us that life's deeper meanings unfold silently, often when we're least expecting them. Your soulmate is not just someone you randomly meet. There's a divine orchestration happening behind the scenes, aligning paths, energies, and even struggles to prepare both hearts for the union. It may feel like coincidence or chance, but on a spiritual level, these are sacred signals. Today, let's explore 9 spiritual ways God connects you with your soulmate without your awareness, inspired by ancient wisdom and spiritual teachings like those of Shi Heng Yi. One of the most powerful, yet often misunderstood, ways God connects you with your soulmate is through divine timing. Delays. At times, life feels frustrating. You might watch others around you find love, settle down, build families, while you're left wondering why you're still waiting, still searching, still alone. But what you may not realize is that every delay is part of a spiritual preparation happening both in your life and in the life of your soulmate. From a spiritual perspective, God is not saying no to your prayers for love. He's saying, not yet, because I'm preparing you for something better. There are countless unseen factors that need to align before two souls can truly meet and sustain a deep, authentic connection. Imagine 2 seeds planted in different fields, growing at different rates, going through different seasons, storms, droughts, sunshine, and rain, until the day comes when both bloom at the same time and meet under the same sky. Delays are often God's way of protecting you from premature connections that aren't meant for your soul's growth. Maybe you needed time to heal from past emotional wounds. Maybe your soulmate needed to overcome personal struggles that would have prevented them from loving you fully. Or perhaps both of you had karmic lessons to learn, lessons in patience, self-love, forgiveness, or emotional resilience. In these moments of waiting, the universe is shifting energies in your favor. You may be rerouted away from toxic people, pushed into new environments, or even experience sudden life changes that feel unfair. But behind all these disruptions is a divine blueprint guiding your steps. While you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, your soulmate is doing the same, unknowingly moving closer to the day when your paths will cross in a way that feels effortless yet deeply meaningful. Divine timing isn't about rushing or forcing love into your life. It's about trusting that what is meant for you will never pass you by. Every unanswered prayer, every lonely night, every tear of confusion is seen by God. And in His perfect timing, all the puzzle pieces will come together, revealing why every delay, every detour, and every disappointment had to happen the way it did. Another mysterious yet deeply spiritual way God connects you with your soulmate without your awareness is through repeated encounters and so-called coincidental meetings. At first, these moments may seem ordinary, random, or even insignificant. But when you look back, you'll realize that every interaction was part of a divine sequence written long before you even knew it. There's a spiritual law that says, what's meant for you will keep finding its way back to you. And this couldn't be truer when it comes to soulmates. You may find yourself crossing paths with the same person over and over again, often in places where you least expect. It might be bumping into them at a cafe, seeing them at the gym, or even running into them at events that neither of you planned to attend. At times, you may even share mutual friends or unknowingly visit the same places at different times, as if the universe is subtly weaving your lives closer and closer together. From a spiritual perspective, these repeated meetings are not accidents. They are cosmic alignment, silent nudges from God and the universe, encouraging both of you to take notice, to connect, to engage, and to awaken to the special bond that's forming. These chance encounters are energy patterns converging. Your vibrational frequencies are aligning, drawing you toward each other like magnets being pulled together across time and space. What's fascinating is that even if you don't initially realize their significance, there's often a growing sense of familiarity every time you meet. It may feel like you've known this person for years, even if it's your first real conversation. There could be an unexplainable sense of comfort when you're around them. Conversations may flow effortlessly, and silences may feel peaceful instead of awkward. Your souls recognize each other long before your minds catch up, and sometimes the universe amplifies these signals by making your interactions unforgettable. You may notice unique synchronicities, like meeting them just after thinking about them, or hearing their name randomly pop up in conversations with others. Their presence may start appearing in your dreams, on social media feeds, or even through random references in books, songs, or television shows. What feels like coincidence is often the divine making its move, gently steering both of you toward awareness and recognition of the spiritual connection that already exists between you. Before two souls can unite in a meaningful, lasting relationship, they often must undergo a period of emotional and spiritual growth. This is one of the most overlooked yet crucial ways God connects you with your soulmate without your awareness. Many people desire love, yet they aren't fully prepared to give or receive it in its truest form. That's why God, in His divine wisdom, allows certain life experiences to shape you, refine you, and help you grow into the person who is truly ready for love. During this growth period, you may face emotional pain, heartbreak, loneliness, and even periods of self-doubt. You might wonder why love feels delayed or why every relationship before this one seemed to fail. But in reality, each of these experiences is a spiritual classroom. Every person who entered and exited your life was a teacher in disguise. They taught you what love is, and more importantly, what love is not. You may find yourself working through old wounds, healing from childhood traumas, learning to set boundaries, understanding the importance of self-worth, and recognizing toxic patterns you once tolerated. Sometimes God will put you through seasons where you're forced to stand alone so you can rebuild your identity independent of others. This is necessary because when your soulmate does arrive, you won't enter the relationship from a place of emotional dependency or fear. You'll meet them from a space of emotional strength and authenticity. Spiritually, these growth periods are also about aligning your energy with the vibration of love. The universe responds to the frequency you emit. If you're still carrying fear, anger, resentment, or unhealed pain, it creates blocks that prevent the right person from entering your life. That's why God may allow certain situations to trigger you, so you're pushed to confront your inner shadows and release emotional baggage that no longer serves your soul's journey. Additionally, during these growth phases, you often discover your true life purpose. You begin to chase goals, pursue passions, and develop your gifts. This period allows you to become a more fulfilled individual, making you more attractive to your soulmate, who is likely undergoing their own parallel growth process at the same time. You'll notice subtle changes within yourself, increased emotional maturity, more compassion for others, heightened self-awareness, and a deeper understanding of what you truly want and deserve in a partner. This emotional and spiritual evolution is God's way of preparing both of you for a connection that will not only be emotionally fulfilling, but also spiritually elevating. Through this sacred process, both you and your soulmate are being shaped into people who can build a relationship based on trust, emotional safety, mutual growth, and deep, unconditional love. One of the most painful but necessary ways God connects you with your soulmate, without your awareness, is by causing sudden and often unexpected endings of relationships that are not meant for your soul's journey. This process is emotionally challenging, sometimes heartbreaking, but it plays a vital role in preparing the space in your life for your true soulmate to arrive. You may find yourself deeply invested in a relationship, convinced that this person is the one, only for the connection to unravel suddenly and without clear explanation. It might feel unfair, confusing, or even devastating. There may be moments when you question your self-worth or wonder what went wrong. But from a spiritual perspective, these endings are not failures. They are divine interventions. God, in His infinite wisdom, sees what you cannot. He knows the conversations happening behind your back, the true intentions buried behind sweet words, and the long-term spiritual incompatibility that your heart cannot yet perceive. Sometimes He removes people from your life abruptly to protect you from pain that would only grow deeper with time. It's His way of saving you from wasted emotional energy, delayed destiny, and unnecessary suffering. Many times, people stay in relationships simply because they fear loneliness, or because they are emotionally attached to the idea of love, rather than love itself. God knows this. That's why He will sometimes orchestrate events so that the relationship cannot continue. No matter how hard you try to hold on, breakups happen suddenly. Arguments escalate without clear cause. Emotional distance grows overnight. Promises are broken. Communication fades, and you're left standing in a space you once thought was secure, now feeling empty and directionless. But this emotional upheaval has a spiritual purpose. It clears energetic and emotional space in your life. It creates room in your heart where your soulmate connection can eventually take root. Holding on to unaligned relationships blocks the flow of love that God wants to bring into your life. Moreover, these sudden endings serve as spiritual wake-up calls. They force you to reflect, heal, and evaluate what you truly want and deserve in a partner. They teach you valuable lessons about self-respect, emotional boundaries, and the importance of being with someone whose soul aligns with yours on every level, not just emotionally, but spiritually, mentally, and energetically. You may not understand it at the moment, but with time, you'll realize that God was never punishing you with heartbreak. Instead, He was positioning you for a love that is deeper, healthier, and more aligned with your soul's purpose. One of the most mystical and often overlooked ways God connects you with your soulmate without your awareness is through recurring dreams and spiritual signs. While you may be physically apart from your soulmate, your souls can communicate and connect in ways your conscious mind doesn't yet understand. Dreams and signs from the universe become powerful tools that God uses to awaken your intuition and prepare your heart for what's coming. You may start having dreams about a person you've never met, yet they feel oddly familiar. In these dreams, you might feel deep love, peace, and connection with someone whose face is blurry, or perhaps someone whose energy feels like home. The details of the dream might fade upon waking, but the emotional imprint stays with you all day. This is not random. From a spiritual perspective, it's believed that your soulmate's higher self is reaching out to yours in the dream realm, bridging the physical distance between you through the subconscious. These dreams often repeat, growing clearer over time. Sometimes the settings change. Perhaps you're walking through a garden, sitting by the ocean, or holding hands under a night sky, but the emotional pull remains constant. Each dream serves as a spiritual breadcrumb, guiding you towards the person destined to enter your life in waking reality. Beyond dreams, God sends you waking signs as well. These are spiritual nudges meant to catch your attention. You may start seeing repetitive angel numbers like 1001, 111, 2002, 122, 333, or even 717 and 1212, often associated with soul connection and spiritual alignment. These numbers might appear on clocks, license plates, receipts, or randomly pop up while scrolling on your phone. Sometimes you'll hear a specific song playing repeatedly wherever you go, with lyrics that seem to speak directly to your heart. Or you'll notice symbols like hearts, doves, feathers, or even random mentions of soulmate or divine love in books, social media posts, or casual conversations. In other cases, God communicates through sudden intuitive feelings. You may experience a wave of emotion out of nowhere, an unexplained sense of longing, love, or even peace that seems to come from nowhere but leaves a strong imprint on your soul. You may also feel a sudden urge to visit a particular place, join a specific event, or reach out to someone new, all subtle signs steering you toward your destined encounter. What's most remarkable is that these signs often increase in frequency and intensity as the time of meeting your soulmate draws near. They serve as spiritual confirmations that even though you may not see the full picture yet, something beautiful and divinely orchestrated is unfolding behind the scenes. These dreams and signs help awaken your spiritual awareness, making you more receptive to recognizing your soulmate when they finally appear in your physical reality. Another profound and often surprising way God connects you with your soulmate without your awareness is through a sudden and almost unexplainable sense of inner peace, especially during a phase in life when you least expect it. This feeling doesn't come after meeting your soulmate. Instead, it often arrives well before your paths cross, as a divine signal that your soul is aligning with the energy of true love. For a long time, you may have been restless about love. You may have spent sleepless nights wondering when you'll meet the one, scrolling through social media seeing happy couples and asking yourself, why not me? Perhaps you went through periods of anxiety, emotional longing, or even frustration with the way your love life has unfolded. This emotional turbulence is natural. It reflects the human desire for connection, love, and companionship. But then, almost without warning, something shifts within you. You begin to wake up feeling lighter. The emotional heaviness starts to lift. The need to control the timing of your love life begins to fade. Instead of obsessively searching or wondering, you start embracing the present moment. You find joy in your daily routine, contentment in your solitude, and gratitude for the small blessings life offers you each day. Spiritually, this sudden peace is not random. It's a sign that your soul is healing, balancing, and aligning with the frequency needed to attract your soulmate. God knows that love rooted in desperation or emotional neediness will never sustain itself. That's why this inner peace becomes one of the clearest indicators that you are entering a state of emotional readiness. It means you've reached a place where you're no longer searching for someone to complete you, but are now open to a partner who will complement you. This sense of peace often arrives just before major shifts occur in your life. It's like the calm before a beautiful storm, the kind of storm that doesn't bring destruction, but rather clears away old energy and ushers in new beginnings. During this time, you may find that you're no longer triggered by your past relationship memories. The longing that once felt like a void is now replaced with quiet faith that what's meant for you is on its way. You may also notice that your standards in love start to change. You stop entertaining connections that don't serve your highest good. You become more mindful of who you allow into your emotional space. This inner peace strengthens your intuition, helping you recognize your soulmate connection when it finally enters your life. On a deeper level, this peace is God's way of reassuring you that the waiting has not been in vain. It's His way of saying, stay calm, I'm working on it. Your love story is unfolding right on schedule. One of the most surprising and faltering ways God connects you with your soulmate, without your conscious awareness, is by orchestrating unexpected life changes that push you onto new paths. At first, these changes may feel confusing, uncomfortable, or even unsettling. They may come in the form of sudden job transitions, relocations, shifts in friendships, or new responsibilities that seem to appear out of nowhere. But spiritually, none of these changes are accidents. Each one is a carefully designed step, leading you toward the person you're destined to meet. You may find yourself being nudged, sometimes gently, other times forcefully, out of your comfort zone. For years, you may have followed a predictable routine, surrounded by familiar people and places, but then something happens that shakes the foundation of your daily life. Perhaps a job opportunity arises in a different city, or you're invited to an event you would typically decline. Maybe you lose interest in your usual social circle, feeling drawn instead to new communities or activities. At first glance, these shifts may seem like random life changes, but from a spiritual lens, they are God's way of repositioning you both physically and emotionally for a divine appointment. The person you're meant to meet may not exist in your current environment. They may be waiting for you in a different city, a new workplace, or even in a situation that feels completely outside your comfort zone. Often, these unexpected life changes require you to take leaps of faith. You might have to leave behind what's familiar in exchange for what's unknown. This can feel scary and disorienting. You may wrestle with questions like, why is this happening now? Or why do I suddenly feel the urge to change my life? But deep inside, there's a quiet, persistent voice guiding you, an inner knowing that something greater is unfolding. Along with external changes, God also initiates internal shifts during this time. Your mindset starts evolving. You may feel called to work on yourself more deeply, whether through personal development, spiritual practices like meditation, or emotional healing. New opportunities for growth appear in unexpected ways. Books come into your life with messages that seem written just for you. Conversations with strangers suddenly hold deeper meaning. You may meet mentors or spiritual guides who offer insights that open your heart and prepare you for the relationship you've been waiting for. Sometimes these life changes happen rapidly, almost as if everything is being accelerated at once. Doors that were once closed suddenly swing open. Connections that were once strong may dissolve, while new and unexplained opportunities flood your path. This period may feel like chaos, but in truth, it's divine order in motion. The universe is rearranging circumstances, redirecting energies, and guiding your footsteps so that you and your soulmate are led onto intersecting paths. It's important to recognize that had you stayed where you were emotionally, mentally, or physically, you might never have crossed paths with the person God intended for you. These life changes are the universe's way of ensuring that you don't miss your destined meeting. They are spiritual road signs pointing you toward a future where love awaits. So, if you find yourself in a season of waiting, confusion, or unexpected change, take a breath and trust the process. Nothing in your life is happening by accident. Every delay, every ending, every unexpected meeting, and every dream is part of a bigger, divine plan that's unfolding quietly, beautifully, and perfectly for you. Remember this, while you're working on becoming the best version of yourself, your soulmate is doing the same, walking their own journey, learning their own lessons, and moving toward the moment when your paths will align. God doesn't need your worry or fear. He only needs your faith. So keep going, stay open, keep growing, and trust that when the time is right, love will find its way into your life in a way more beautiful and profound than you could have ever imagined. Your story is still being written, and the best chapters are yet to come.